That's something that definitely you need to split test, and a good guide for those that don't know where to even start. Just take the top 5-10 people that sell similar products, see the order of the images, what kind of things they explain in terms of maybe they have a picture of a lifestyle, they have a picture of complexity, they have a picture of the benefits. Try to replicate that, use that as the starting point, and then define your own baseline based on the data you get out of it.
Hello, I'm your host John Cavendish, and welcome to Season 4 of the Amazon Strategist Show, the show that's all strategy with no hacks, no silver bullets, and no magic pills, just real practical strategies to grow your Amazon business. Today I am joined by none other than Vincenzo Toscano, a friend of mine and the visionary founder of eComcy. That's ecomcy.com, an e-commerce agency based in the UK, like I was from originally. They have a diverse and talented team of 70 people now, spread across different countries and time zones, and his vast experience and deep understanding of e-commerce landscape, Vincenzo has built a trusted advisor to countless e-commerce brands and their businesses online. The cool thing here is they do, as well as doing USA and Europe, they do LATAM, Asia, and all over the world. So it's very exciting. Welcome, Vincenzo.
Thank you, John. It's definitely a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm super excited. I know we did this first kind of version of the episode like a couple of years ago. A lot has changed since then. And I'm very excited to, just have a revamp, see what has been happening since then. A lot of things have happened. And hopefully today the conversation is going to be around, what are some of the things that you have to consider to, keep navigating the Amazon space,
Well, I love it. Yes, very congratulations first on the size of your team, growing from 30 to 70 in the last couple of years.
70, that's correct. Yeah.
Awesome, love it. Where are mostly they based, out of interest?
So actually, most of the team as of now is in Europe, right? So that's where the biggest part of the team is right now. And now, of course, we're expanding a lot also in the USA, Latin America, and Middle East and Asia. So pretty much is global in all the main markets. And the reason for that is because, as you briefly mentioned, we specialize also throughout international expansion. That's a huge thing for us. So our goal is to make sure we create an opportunity for, provide the right support during the different time zones, and also understanding the localization expertise as skills these days to be able to, really be able to compete against local competitors and be able to scale forward. Yeah.
Very cool. And talking about expansion and creative, I thought we could talk a little bit about creative, because I saw on social media this week, so hot off the presses, you guys at eComcy plus some other really good agencies and some creative specific agencies and some full management agencies had a bit of a competition on Tomer's Top Dog community for his new brand.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, what kind of insights did you have through that, and how could you talk us a bit through your entry and what you focus on for that? Because I feel like specificity in what you're creating this week is very cool for the listeners.
Yeah, so I would say it was very, very interesting, the whole competition, because what we tried to do then was try to navigate, first of all, what are some of the elements that you have to have in today's picture to drive the click, to drive the conversion, and also to make your product stand out from the competition. We know that things are very saturated right now. There is a lot of competitors right now in most of the categories. So the only thing that really can make a difference would be things around the creatives and the copy and everything that you also bring in terms of differentiator when it comes to product development. So the competition was all about that, trying to understand which one was based on, of course, a public voting in terms of which one was drawing the most amount of clicks, the most amount of kind of confidence, kind of build up to make the purchase. And I think the nice thing of the exercise was also how public the whole thing was. All agencies essentially share the process to come up with the different elements and pieces of content we put out there from a category perspective, from understanding the avatar, from understanding the psychology of what drives a click, and that I think is going to be a ton of value that people then can reverse engineer and implement on their own brands.
Love it. And what did you specifically take away, I guess, from doing it publicly, but also from what other people did? What were some of the takeaways you had?
So I think some of the things I learned the most was finding out the different procedure that each especially is implement when it comes to come up with an image and a copy and all of that, because sometimes you might fall into the trap of thinking that the way of doing things, in this case your way, is the best way. And then when you actually hear the interviews of all the different founders in terms of how they come up with this image, which tools they use, what is the different SOPs, that makes you think, oh, maybe I'm not as good as I thought doing this, or I should optimize this procedure, or maybe this assumption is wrong. And I think overall it was also a very good exercise among all of us to make the most of what we deliver moving forward, because we all learn from each other. Like, in fact, I remember having this meeting where everybody was kind of giving feedback to each other, and it was a very good kind of brainstorm exercise as well, to make sure that we are all, I guess, coming up with the top strategies to keep up the standard up there.
Nice. So specifically, what should someone be doing now for the creative on their listing? What are the things which are converting, working? I saw a real mix of slightly compliant, slightly non-compliant infographics, boxes, all these kind of other stuff.
Yeah. So I would say the most important thing is, the first thing, which is, this is something that people should be doing from day one, but now it's more important than ever, is really make sure that the message is conveying towards the avatar you're trying to target. Because now with the rollout of Cosmo and Rufus specifically, if you're not really specifying your images the right kind of persona, or the right lifestyle, or the right location, sometimes even weather that is roll out in terms of the background of the image, that can completely affect how the product is recommended to specific consumers. So quick example could be something as simple as, let's say you're selling like a water bottle, right? In the past, you could kind of get away by having a picture where, let's say you were targeting only people that will do hiking, and your water bottle is specifically to that. But people will put all kind of exercise, like also football, or maybe different kind of outdoor activities. And the thing is, now when somebody specifically, which is this case, the person that does hiking, is looking for a water bottle based on their behavior on the platform, if your water bottle list, in this case the images, don't specifically only focus on hiking, Amazon is going to recommend the pro listing that is being specialized on that front, in terms of the images, the text, and everything. So I guess it's something that is very important takeaway in terms of things that you should be doing, is making sure that now you're very specific on your images. No anymore one of those days that you will do keyword stuffing, and also I would say image stuffing, in terms of putting as many lifestyles, as many personas, as many things, because you're just going to confuse the algorithm. You're not going to be dominant in your specific niche.
And what's your view on main images? I saw mainly in that post that I only saw the one about main images. So really, what's the best practice in main image from your point of view and eComcy's point of view?
Yeah. So there were three main areas we focused on. Was the main image, was secondary images, and was the A+ count, which are the three main pillars. Of course, then you also have video, which is very important, but we focus on the main three kind of element, which is main image, secondary images, and A+ content. Now, going back to the main image first, of course, the most important thing here is driving the click, because once you drive the click, then you can be very strategic within the listing to keep people within the listing. This will be strategies with PPC, where you essentially saturate your own kind of product details pages, so they only can see your other products if you have other products. Or you can be very strategic with the promotions, coupons, buy two for one, and things like that, to get as much real estate as possible on your page. So the goal of main image is driving the clicks, so once they're inside, you can gamify other things to then drive the sale. Now, when it comes to elements, there are many things you can do here. Of course, there are certain things that kind of breaking a bit terms and condition, which is what you just mentioned, putting certain kind of text and also overlays and things like that is something that you can get away with. But at the end of the day, don't be surprised if that end up suppressing your listing. And that's the reality. Anything that is any text that is outside of the actual main product or packaging, that can get you suppressed. That would be like a banner, or like a coupon, or like overlay. All those things is a matter of time before can get you suppressed. I have seen people never gotten suppressed, but those are things that at the same time drive a ton of click-through rate. So it's finding the balance between how much you want to risk it and and how much you want to maximize that kind of click-through rate. And of course, things that you can do to maximize that is using things such as product opinion, which is what we do on every single image. Like that means we come up with 5 to 7 images, and then we test it with 200, 300 people, and then the one that gets the most amount of clicks, that's the one that we choose to go for. Because one thing is what you come up with your research elements, how nice it looks, but then the reality is testing real people and putting them on a controlled environment that represent the actual Amazon kind of shopping experience, which is the one that actually is consistently driving the clicks, and then that will be the main image that we'll go for.
Cool. So when you say you test with 200, 300 people, what platform do you use for testing?
A Pro Opinion we use for this one, but there are other solutions out there.
Product Opinion.
Pro Opinion, yeah.
I haven't heard of that one. The one I've only used in the past.
There's also PickFu and Televi. Yeah.
PickFu, yeah. But how much does that cost? 200 to 300 on Product Opinion?
It's actually pretty cheap. Like we're talking less than $200. Is very affordable, and it's something that at the end of the day it makes sense, because imagine the amount of extra sales you're gonna drive now because you have the image that over 200 people have chosen and click on it, right? So that's the way you have to factor in that cost, right? And an expense that is not gonna add value,
Love it. Is there anything else like that you focused on during that exercise that would be useful for people to take away as I should put this on my listing now, because I did my listing a year ago. It's doing fine. My conversion rate's fine. Like, what should they look at? What should they be going to update?
So other things we focus on is we try to invest a lot of time on analyzing our competitors' reviews. That's the number one source of knowledge in terms of the person around age, gender, lifestyles, things along those lines. The second one that we use is also Pro Opportunity Explorer. With the Pro Opportunity Explorer, you can analyze specific niches, and you can go in depth around, reasons why people return the product, reasons that why people love this product. And then the third element would be using something such as ChatGPT, right? With ChatGPT, you can do a lot of analysis around, give me the top reasons why people would choose this product over the competitors based on X, Y, and Z, and you can create a summary. And then by combining those three sources, we come up with what are the things that people have to see on an image. Like maybe they have to know about the count of how many they get on the bottle. They have to know about the quality. They have to know about what it's made of. They have to know that it's waterproof. They have to know that it's scratch proof. Like you need to identify what is the pain point. And those are the things you have to make sure they're very visible on the main image, because by me understanding what is the differentiator of your product compared to others is what is going to make me click on it and go deeper into researching it and potentially buying it.
I like it. And then I guess with the infographic overlays stuff, do you recommend testing that at eComcy? Is it something you stay well away from? Like, what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, for the infographics, which will be secondary images, that's something that we also do a lot of split testing. Split testing will be along the lines of the order, for example. Sometimes we change the order of how the images are uploaded, because that's also throughout the journey of a consumer. Certain images, if you put it on the fourth place, people, by the time they get there, maybe they stop reading and it's not actually conveying the message that you need. So you need to put it on the second place. You also need to make sure that there's actually storytelling from second image to the second image. You also need to make sure there's consistency of colors, of fonts, of the whole kind of guidelines that what defines your brand in the first place. And these can be split tested many ways. Like even within Amazon, with Amazon experiments, you can split test this. You can even split test this yourself by changing the images and then tracking the before and after with brand analytics. So there's different avenues, but I would say that's something that definitely you need to split test. And a good guide for those that don't know where to even start, just take the top 5-10 people that sell similar products, see the order of the images, what kind of things they explain in terms of maybe they have a picture of a lifestyle, they have a picture of unboxing, they have a picture of the benefits. Try to replicate that, use that as the starting point, and then define your own baseline based on the data you get out of it.
Good, I like it. Do you have any resources that if people are interested in what you're sharing can download and explore from eComcy? Sure.
So actually, what we can do, if you guys, I'm gonna actually leave my email in here, and what we can do is if you send an email to business@ecomcy.com, is we can send you the SOPs that we actually implement when it comes to market research and coming up with a blueprint of all the images, and then you can implement this on your own, right? So we can show you from A to Z how we go from 0 to knowing nothing about the product to 100 in terms of what is the persona, what the image has to look like, and what we need to split test moving forward.
Cool. Yeah. So send an email to business@ecomcy.com
and say, I guess we can say, coming from John Seller Candy, looking for a SOP for
secrets.
Making my images
number one image secrets.
Convert.
Okay, that's a very long subject line. I would just call it eComcy images.
eComcy images.
SOP.
Yeah. There you go.
Love it. eComcy, ECOMCY. If you're not watching the video, it says it on Vincenzo's chest, but if you can't see that, ECOMCY.
Yeah.
More people consume this through audio than video. Nice. Is there anything else I should be asking about this kind of creative process?
I would say it's also understand that these days, with AI, I mean, there's so many things that you can fast track. In the past, you will have to have your own photo shooting models and everything. Now we ChatGPT, we create a lot of the images that we use on the listing itself, and then of course the editor, in this case the graphic designer, will come and add the extra elements and things like that. But I mean, there's a ton of tools out there that you can use, like there's also Ecom 10, very good, which I recommend, from Max Sinclair, close friend of mine. So it's a very good tool to create images for your Amazon listings. So what I say is, like, I know a lot of these things sounds like, a lot of heavy lifting, research, editing, and all of that, but these days with all the tools out there, there is no excuse. It's just a matter of putting the thoughts on paper in terms of what you're looking to achieve with your brand, what is the end goal in terms of what is the baseline you want to achieve in terms of conversion, what are maybe your examples in terms of competition, and then use that as your guidelines to leverage these tools to fast track all your execution.
Love it. Thank you. And thank you for sharing, Vincenzo. Like, if somebody wants to find out more about how eComcy personally can support them, as well as emailing business@ecomcy to get the SOPs, like, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, so if you look for me as Vincenzo Toscano, there's only one in the industry, so very easy to find. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. So feel free to send me a DM. More than happy to engage and see how I can add value there. And if you go to our website, ecomcy.com, in there you can book a free consultation with our team where we can jump on a call, no strings attached, just have a conversation about where you are, where we can take you, and hopefully see if there is some synergies to achieve your goals together. Yeah.
Love it. Well, Vincenzo, thank you so much. You always had a lot of value, and thank you for coming onto the podcast. I'll see you again soon, and have a great time in London.